We're a ways from where we're going to be seeing some real good application problems, but today we're doing lesson 7-4. So let's get started. The most important thing about this lesson is found on page 380 in the orange box. And what it says is that if you have the nth root of some number, that's the same as that number to the 1 over nth. So the index is the denominator, and the numerator is the power inside the radical. So another example that they give is if you have a number where you have a to the fraction m over n, that's the same as the nth root a to the m. See how those switch around. Now, which you could also write as the nth root of a to the m. And that's going to be useful depending on which kinds of problems you run into. Let's turn back then to page 379 and let's look at the first example that they give us. It's 125 to the 1/3. Now on your calculator, you could press 125 to the and then fraction 1/3, and it will tell you that's 5. But let's see why it works that way. Well, this is the cube root of 125. But 125 is 5 to the 3rd. So this is the cube root of 5 to the 3rd, or in other words, the rule is lay down groups of 3. You have one group of 3 5s, and so you have 5 is the solution. Twenty-five, 5 squared, which is 5 on the outside, because they're times 100 to the 1/3. Well, we can rewrite this as the cube root of 10. But 1,000 is 10 to the 3rd, so we have the cube root of 10 to the 3rd. Going to or 3. We have one group of 3 tenths. Let's look at another example. Three-fifths. Can't see what you've got there. The next sign means put it in the denominator, which is 1 5/5. And a y square root in the denominator. So we would have to rewrite this at multiply by the root of y, and we get the root of y over y cubed, because these two become another pair, and so we would have 3 pairs in the denominator. Let's look at another one. Page 381, example 4. Negative 32 to the 3/2. The first thing that I want you to notice is that this negative sign does not make it in the denominator. That would be the exponent has to have that negative sign. So we have the 5th root, okay, cube. Well, negative 32 is negative 2 to the 5th, and we're going to cube that 5th root. Well, that's the 5th root of negative 2 to the... Okay, how many groups of 5 can we get out of 15? We get 3 groups of 5. Oops, sorry about that. We can get 3 groups of... We have negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is positive. Which colors here? 0.5. It's the same as 1 over 4 to the 3.5. 3.5 is the same as 7/2, okay? Which is 1 over the square root of 4 to the 7th. But 4 is 2 squared, so 2 squared to the 7th, which is 1 over the square root of 2 to the 14th. How many groups of 2 can we get out of 14? We can get 7, so it's 1 over. Now really what I would do is, if it's a simple one, I would multiply it out, and the 7th is 108. Page 82. I'm going to do some of those for you so that you can see how they work. Number 1 is the square root of 36, because 1/2, remember, is the square root. Well, the square root of 36 is 6. Number 5. Negative 3 to the 1/3 is the cube root of negative 3 times the cube root of negative 3 times the cube root of negative 3, which is the cube root of negative 27. How many 3's do you have? Well, you have negative 3 to the 3rd, and so the cube root of that is negative 3. Number 18, the square root of negative 10 is negative 10 to the 1/2. Now we know that's irrational, but they didn't ask us what it was. They just said rewrite it. Number 23, the cube root of a squared, so the denominator is 3 and the numerator is 2. Number 31, 64 to the 2/3 is the square root of 60, or a cube root of 64 squared, But 64 is 2 to the 6th, so it's 2 to the 6th squared cube root. But that's the cube root of 2 to the 12th. Remember, when you raise a number to a power, you multiply the exponents. How many groups of 3 can we get out of 12? We can get 4, so it's 2 to the 4th. 2 to the 4th is 16. Number 39. X to the negative 4/7 to the 7th. Well, one way to do this is to remember that when you raise a number to a power, you multiply exponents. So this is negative 4/7 times 7, because you multiply exponents. These cancel, and so you have x to the negative 4th, which is 1 over x to the 4th. Remember, this negative sign means you go in the denominator. Number 47 looks tough. X to the 2/3 times y to the negative 1/6 to the negative 12. So that's x to the 2/3 times negative 12, y to the negative 1/6 times negative 12. These cancel to get a negative 4, so it's x to the negative 8th, y to the positive, 12 cancels the 6, and you have y to the 2nd. So that is y squared on top. This negative sign tells us that that number goes on the bottom, so it'll be over x to the 8th. Next one. Let's do number 73, because that one looks really tough. X to the 1/2 times x to the 5/12 1/3 divided by x to the 2/3. Remember, when you raise a number, or when you multiply numbers, you add exponents. So this is x to the 1/2 plus 5/12. And then you're going to multiply that times 1/3. This divide sign, remember, means that you're going to subtract 2/3. Okay, let's keep working inside the parentheses. 1/2 is 6/12. 6/12 plus 5/12 is 11/12 times 1/3 is 11/36 minus 2/3. Well, 2/3 is 24/36. 11/36 minus 24/36 is negative 15/36. Let's simplify that as negative 5/12. So we have 1 over, that's what this negative sign does, x to the 5/12, or 1 over the 12th root of x to the 5th. That's it.